What's going on, guys? Welcome to my first ever PC build video. And by that I mean this is the first time I have ever built a PC. It's been about 4 years since my old desktop died, and my laptop died late 2019. My girlfriend has been nice enough to let me borrow her laptop in the meantime, but I thought it was time for an upgrade. I happened to watch a video on YouTube about building PCs, and in my usual fashion, I quickly became obsessed with learning about all the different PC parts and how they went together, as well as the customization options available. I am somewhat proud to say that simply by using PCPartPicker.com and watching YouTube channels such as Tech Deals, Bitwit, Paul's Hardware, Hardware Unboxed, and Linus Tech Tips, I was able to go from not knowing anything about building a PC to choosing each component and successfully building my entire PC in less than 1 month. And I believe you can too. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the parts I chose, the DIY installation process, and of course, reveal the end result. First up, the CPU. I knew I wanted AMD right off the bat. For whatever reason, their tier system made more sense to me than Intel's. I considered as low end as the Ryzen 5 3600 and as high end as the Ryzen 9 3900X. In the end, I went with a Ryzen 7 3700X 8-core 16-thread processor with a 3.6 GHz base and a 4.4 GHz max boost. This is a beast of a CPU, and it comes with the very cool Wraith Prism stock cooler, which is plenty for my needs as I don't plan on overclocking. Out of the box, I was impressed by the sturdiness of the Wraith Prism cooler. I can't explain how cool it was to finally see these products in person after spending weeks watching videos about them. Next up, the ever sought after GPU. For the longest time, I was aiming for the Radeon series, either a 5600 XT or a 5700 XT. However, I chose the MSI GeForce RTX 2060 Super for 3 reasons. 1, its performance is similar, albeit slightly less, than that of the 5700 XT. Number 2, NVIDIA drivers are supposedly superior to AMD's. And number 3, I love dragons and this thing looks sick. Now, I wanted performance to be the #1 priority in my build, but I also wanted a sleek, sexy design, and this GPU ticked all the boxes. After opening this hardware up, I have no regrets. It is very sturdy and heavier than I imagined, but this made me love it even more. Part of me wishes I coughed up another $100 for the MSI 2070 Super, but for my GPU needs, I know I made the right choice and saved myself the extra cost. For the motherboard, I loved the look of the Gigabyte Aorus series. Initially, I anticipated that I would need to go for the more expensive X570s or wait for the release of the B550s. However, as noted both on the box and on Gigabyte's website, the Aorus B450 Pro Wi-Fi is Ryzen 3000 compatible and matched all of my needs. I failed at the iconic plastic peeling, but to be fair, I was using my non-dominant hand. That aside, this motherboard has a sleek design, great heat sinks, including built-in heat sinks for the M.2 slots, comes with all the necessary components, and has awesome RGB that I'll reveal later in this video. Truthfully, it is one of my favorite pieces of this build. I had heard multiple times from multiple YouTubers that you should not skimp out on your power supply. Of all the brands, Corsair stood out to me the most. Ideally, I wanted to go for a 750 watt or at least a 650 watt PSU. However, due to a shortage of PSUs as a result of the global health concerns at the time of my build, my options were limited. I was thankful to lay my hands on the Corsair CX550M. This is an 80+ bronze semi-modular 550 watt power supply. This PSU is built like a tank with all black cables to boot. According to PCPartPicker.com, the estimated wattage of my build is only 379 watts. However, a simple recommendation I had heard in a video was to aim for a PSU that can cover 1.5 times that estimation in order to allow room for error and any future upgrades. 379 times 1.5 gives us 568.5, so a 550 watt 80 plus bronze PSU should suit me just fine. Next up, a super cool part of this build. For memory, I chose the Trident Z RGB DDR4 3600 2x8GB for a total of 16GB of dual channel RAM. For me, spending the extra $20 to $30 for an RGB kit was definitely worth it. 3200 speed may have been just as good, but I had heard that the AMD CPUs perform better with faster RAM, and decided that the upgrade was worth the investment. Initially, I had considered the Corsair Vengeance RGB kit, but I'm definitely glad I went for this kit of Trident Z's instead. Just wait till you see them and the final build. For my SSD storage boot drive, after much deliberation, I landed the Intel 660p M.2 drive. This is a budget option for M.2 drives, but it was recommended by Tech Deals for its value. Although I was initially skeptical and tempted to go with more expensive products, I gotta say that I am happy with this drive. For an everyday user like myself, it is still super fast and reliable, and I have no regrets. For hard drive storage, I had seen the Seagate Barracuda recommended in numerous videos on YouTube. Their 2TB drive was only $55, which seemed an incredible value to me in terms of how far technology has come to be able to provide so much storage for such a low cost. In exchange for that low cost, this thing is a hefty chunk of metal, but it is clearly built to last. Together with the Intel 660p, this gives me a whopping 3 terabytes of storage and room to upgrade in the future if need be. For the case, I went with the Meshify C by Fractal Design. This was actually the very first case that caught my eye, but I was initially worried that the tempered glass would be too tinted for my liking, so I was instead planning on picking up a Phanteks P400 case. However, stocking issues at the time of purchasing led me back to the Meshify C. As it turns out, I love the tint and pretty much everything else about this case. Having room for 6 total fans was important to me, and this case allows that without issue. The back panel has good cable management, and let's not forget that iconic front panel. In my research, I had noticed that many YouTubers suggested cutting costs on the case if you were running low on funds for your build. My recommendation is to go with a case that you think fits best with the theme of your build, because like it or not, it is one of the first things that you will see every day and acts as the home to all of your other components. So in my opinion, take some extra time and perhaps some extra cash and choose wisely. Although the Meshify C comes with 2 140mm fans, I had planned on purchasing a 5-pack of Arctic fans, but there's a problem with shipping, and so I had to think of something else. Luckily, I was able to in-store pick up 4 Insignia 120mm case fans from Best Buy. This turned out to be a blessing in disguise because these fans are well built for the cost and function quietly and smoothly. Finally, the peripherals. My current monitor is the Asus VE228, and although I'd like to upgrade in the future, I knew it wasn't necessary, and so I did not fit it into my budget for this build. However, I did decide to upgrade my keyboard and mouse to the Corsair K55 and Harpoon RGB combo. I again knew I wanted to go with Corsair, mainly for the logo on the mouse. The fact that they had a reasonably priced keyboard and mice combo sealed the deal, and so far, I am very satisfied. And so, there you have it. All the components of my build and some background as to why I chose each of them. If you still have questions about my choices, leave a comment and I'll do my best to fill you in. While you're at it, be sure to like this video and subscribe if you want to help support my channel. Thank you! Next up, the installation. And there you have it, my first ever PC build. The initial build did take me around 5.5 hours to complete, not including final back panel cable management. In total, I probably spent around 7 to 8 hours including Windows installation and setup. Overall, this was such a satisfying process. If you are considering building your own PC, I hope this video can push you to make the right decision. This was so much fun. The PC looks amazing, and it carries an immense sense of accomplishment. I was recording when I initially turned on the computer, and naturally freaked out when the PC booted up into the BIOS, but unfortunately my phone SSD was full and the footage was lost. However, even now, I'm just so excited every time I boot up this PC. Being able to go from visualizing what I wanted to build to seeing it now in person is truly a gift, and I'm so thankful that I get to enjoy it every single day. Looking towards the future, the only upgrades I'm currently considering are my monitor and eventually an AIO for my CPU. In the meantime, I could not be happier with this build. Thank you so much for watching. Please like this video if you liked it, share it with someone who you think would enjoy it too, and subscribe for more videos. I will see you in the next one.